If you're just getting into black and white photography, you might be wondering what's the best film to start with. In this video, I'm gonna explain why HP5 is often hailed as the best film for beginners. Now, I've shot hundreds of rolls of this stuff, and I'm gonna share with you what I've learned from that and why I think this is such a great film to start with and finish with. I'll also cover a few exceptions and why you might want to avoid HP5 at the end of the video. So let's just jump in. I've shot hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rolls of film, and I've seen pinholes and defects and just quality control issues that kind of like boggle your mind and make the process harder. Even with a film like Tri-X, they had some issues with the writing on the backing paper getting like printed or imprinted on the actual film. So it would actually say like Tri-X, like in your pictures, or Kodak in your pictures. All these things are just issues you're not gonna wanna have to deal with if you're new to the process and trying to learn a new skill. So HP5 is just one of the films that just stands out above the rest as not having any of these issues. It's just super clean and super consistent, and you can rely upon that. Hey, real quick, do me a favor. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and while you're at it, smash that thumbs up button. It handles highlights and high contrast situations exceptionally well. It just really handles a lot of situations well. Now, this is somewhat developer dependent, but you just really can hold a lot of detail in the highlights with this film. HP5 has beautiful grain and really good sharpness as well. But what I really love is the tonal range that it produces while keeping just the classic black and white aesthetic. This really allows beginners to get great looking images and prints right out of the gate. It captures that timeless look that every photographer is kind of striving for, and it works great for portraits, still lifes, landscapes, close-ups. Like it will work for pretty much anything. So let's talk price. Currently at around $9 USD for a roll of 120. It's not the cheapest film on the market, but it's definitely not the most expensive either. I would say, considering its quality and performance, I think it's the best value for any film on the market today, which definitely makes it a film you can grow with. I mean, you can get this in 35mm, 120, 4x5, 8x10, all the way up to 11x14 seems to be pretty regularly stocked. So when the time comes, and the time will come, that you want bigger negatives, you don't have to learn a whole new film. You can just keep working with this one and grow. Now, I don't mean to keep picking on Tri-X, but their 400 version is only available in 120 and 35mm. If you want the 4x5 film, they don't make it. It's a completely different film. That just makes it hard to like advance to the next level if you're comfortable with a film. On a quick side note, the 4x5 320 film is an amazing film. So like I said, I'm really not trying to pick on Tri-X. Now, Kodak, on the other hand, I mean, you had the world by the in you.
Bring some of your papers back, please.
All right, back on topic. HP5 also it has a huge community around it. So many people use this film, and that makes it very easy to find a lot of information and resources on it. I mean, there are countless tips, tutorials, people reviewing the film. So if you do run into any type of problem with this film, you'll most likely find an answer for it. HP5 does have an incredible latitude to the film. This means that it's pretty forgiving of exposure and metering mistakes, and it can also be pushed quite a bit. Now, if you do push film, you're definitely gonna lose the shadow detail. But if you're aware of that, you can get a really cool high contrast, kind of grainy look that HP5 does wonderfully. It's one of the best films out there for doing it. So let's discuss why HP5 might not be the best film for you. I would say that boosting contrast with this film can sometimes be difficult. And if you do boost contrast through development, you end up with a somewhat grainy image. So if you don't like the look of traditional film grain, that could be an issue, particularly if you're looking for a high contrast film with a very high level of detail and fine grain. It can be expensive for some, though as I stated earlier, I do feel it is the best value in film today. Now, if I was looking for a low-cost alternative, I would look towards Kentmere 400. It is made by Ilford, and I would expect the same quality and consistency from it. In fact, let me know in the comments down below, have you tried Kentmere 400 or any other films that you would put in the hat for being one of the best beginner black and white films? And if you enjoyed this video, I think you're gonna love the next one right here.
Things will get better. And things will get